So this guy, his name is Stephen Miller. Now, I don't know. I'm just gonna be plain out. Is he related to Putin? Cause look at these two. Look at this. They're both bald. They're both like really mean. They both look alike. Look at that, bro. That looks like his son right here, bro. That's his son or something, you know? Stephen Miller. Even when he talks, he has like this weird accent, you know? This guy was the policy maker of Trump. But basically, what I'm trying to say, this guy's a Russian spy. This guy, basically, that's a Putin's boy. Now, let's take a look at what he's defending, okay? So, let's take a look, okay? So,
Stephen, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Great to be here. Thank you.
I want to start with something that President Trump said Friday when he was declaring a national emergency. Here he is.
I could do the wall over a longer period of time. I didn't need to do this, but I'd rather do it much faster.
I didn't need to do this. How does that justify a national emergency?
Well, as you know, Chris, we already have 4,000 troops on the border. In light of the national emergency, a decision that was made almost a year ago, as we've seen an increasing number of people crossing the border, as well as increasing violence in Mexico. What the president was saying is that like past presidents, he could choose to ignore this crisis, choose to ignore this emergency, as others have, but that's not what he's going to do.
That's bad.
The president talks about an invasion, used that word multiple times on Friday, an invasion on the southern border. But let's look at the facts. I want to put them up on the screen. 1.6 million people were stopped crossing the border illegally back in 2000. Less than a quarter that many were caught last year. The government's own numbers show, for all the presidents talk about drugs streaming over the border, 80 to 90% of the cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl seized at the border is seized at ports of entry, not along unfenced areas. And in 2017, twice as many of the new people in the country illegally were from visa overstays as were from crossing the border. Again, where's the emergency, the national emergency to build a wall?
There's no emergency. He just wants to build a Berlin Wall. He works for the Russians. They love walls. Walls and troops bring them along in disaster, you know?
There's a lot of data you just presented there, so I'd like to go through it each one piece at a time if I could. So let's start with your point about the border crossings in the year 2000. Well, as you know, when George Bush came into office, illegal immigration total doubled from 6 million to 12 million by the time he left office. That represented an astonishing betrayal of the American people. And I'm not going to sit here today and tell you that George Bush defended this country on the southern border, because he did not. One of the biggest changes that's happened since then and now is the mass release of illegal aliens due to a patchwork of court rulings and loopholes in our federal laws and changing tactics from smugglers and transnational organizations.
I don't want to go into all of this, but I mean, let's just focus on that one issue. 4 times as many people were coming across the border in 2000 as now. So why is that a national emergency?
Back then, 95% could be turned around in a matter of days. As a result of loopholes, activist judicial rulings, and increasing sophistication from
I don't know why Russia hates Mexico, but hey, that's weird. But anyways, yeah, this guy, most likely Russian guy.